Server super global variables. We know about a few super global variables such as the get, post, request, and session super global variables. But there are more. There's actually quite a bit more. Admittedly, some of these aren't too useful to a lot of web developers. However, each super global variable has its own use. So let's look at the actual variable, whereas before this just said get, post, session, or even request. This one just says server. So it's a $_ server. Now the trick with this one is it has a large amount of index values. An index value is essentially the index name, where in an array we have, in a numeric array, we have index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the index values. And here we're going to call them index names or index value. So to go over a few of them here, the bold lettering is the index value. So this would be an index value. Underneath it, we have what it means, or I guess a description of it would be better. And then typically an example of what will show up. So starting with document root, if we wrote server document root and we just echoed it back to the page, we would see something like C drive directory. So here it shows up wamp www. That's the folder that this file is sitting in. So the description is the document root directory under which the current script is executing, as defined in the server's configuration file. So this file is sitting inside this directory, which is inside this directory, which is inside the C drive. Gateway interface will show CGI 1.1. It's the gateway interface. HTTP host is the host or domain of that the script is residing on. For example, localhost, if you're running a local host. Referrer, or HTTP referrer, I suppose, would be the address of the page that brought you to the current page that executes the script. So as an example, we have google.com as the referrer when you search for a page, and when you click a search result, it's going to bring you to your page. The referrer would be Google. Then we have HTTP user agent known as the browser. As an example, what shows up would be Mozilla 5.0, Apple WebKit, Chrome, Safari. It has the browser version in there as well. Remote address, this is the IP address of the user. Remote port, this is the port that the user is viewing the page from. Typically that's in association with the IP address. Then we have request method. This one's pretty important when it comes to using forms. Request method will give you 4 answers typically. You'll get, head, post, or put. And a good way to execute the script in an action page from a form would be if server request method is equal to, for example, post, then you can execute the script. That means someone actually used the form and they're not just trying to insert information into the URL and try to use your form that way. Request URI. A URI, which is a uniform resource identifier, and that's the one that was given to access the current page. For example, directory index.php, q is equal to test, and abc is equal to 1, 2, 3. Script file name, this is the absolute path name to your script. So for example, we'd have C drive, wamp, www. Another directory, we could have a couple more directories in there, index.php. Script name, this is slightly different from script file name, where script name is just the relative path in the server to the current file. Whereas this is direct because it has the C drive, it's got the WAMP in there. This one is relative because it doesn't have any of that. This is just saying it is relative. This is relative in the server. Then we have PHP self. PHP self is the file name of the script relative to the document root. Very similar to script name. Query string essentially is just the query string. So again, you see up here we have our question mark, q is equal to test, and abc is equal to 1, 2, 3. Well, that stuff after the question mark there, that is the query string. There are actually more. I just chose to give you some of the more popular ones, some of the ones that I've seen a lot of other developers use. And I think that these are the ones that you will actually get the most use out of right now. I also want to let you know that all indices are actually written with the server super global variable in front of it. So as an example, we could echo PHP self, but this is how it would look. And if we did the document root, it would be super global variable, server, and its index value is document_root. Also, all the index values, Make sure they're capitalized. So for your homework, what I want you to do is I want you to write every index value with the server super global variable so it echoes the output of your page. This might seem like a lot of work, but there actually aren't that many. So I want you to echo the document root, gateway interface, HTTP host. Go through all of these until you get down to the query string. With query string, you actually might have to write a query string. Just remember that it looks like this. Once you've done that, save this as server super global vars.php, like this, or some variation of that, and then we will continue.